Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this awesome water slide house. Let me show you around this thing. It's a really simple concept, but I think that this thing looks really cool. So, we have a house on stilts above a pool. And the way that we get up to the house is we climb up these elaborate, colourful stairs, as you can see me doing right now. It's quite high up off the ground. We can crack open these doors, and as you'll see, we actually have a nice working interior in here. We have all sorts of things that we could use in a survival house. We can come out onto the balcony, we can look down at our awesome pool. But the main thing is that we can actually go down this awesome water slide that works. We can come all the way down it, and it drops us down into the pool that we have just below us. And we even have this nice little lounging area as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I honestly would. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff like this. And without any further ado, let me show you how to make it. It's very simple. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some blue concrete, red concrete, yellow concrete, lime concrete, red stained glass, blue stained glass, lime stained glass block, stone slabs, and some sand. We'll also need all of the other materials that you can see in the inventory right now, but those are more cosmetic than anything. The main structure will be built using all of this stuff. So, once you have everything, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to dump mine right about here. You're going to want to start off with a row of 9 blue concrete coming up from the ground. That's 9. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You then want to go right of that 9th blue concrete by 6. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Connect that 6th block down all the way to the ground like this. And you also want to take that 6th block and you want to extend it towards you by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend that 8th block down to the ground. You also want to extend it across and back to where you first started. But you also want to connect it down to the ground at the same time. So you want to make a nice platform. Fill in the top of the platform with red concrete, like this. This will create the floor for the house and also a balcony area. And speaking of the balcony area, place a yellow concrete on the front 2 corners of the blue stand. Connect them together using red stained glass pane. Place red stained glass pane behind the yellow concrete with additional yellow concrete behind the panes. You want to bring each yellow concrete inwards by 1. Place a red concrete in from those. Place red concrete on top of each one of these by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Connect them together at the top. And place blue stained glass pane on top of that. We want to take the yellow concretes that we extended inwards and we want to extend them upwards by a further 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do this. We want to bring them in each 1 block, up 1 block, in a block, up 1 block, in a block, and stick 1 block on top, like this. Fill in around the door using yellow concrete, like so. We then want to take the shape that we have here and we want to extend it towards the back of the house by 6 rows. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're just going to extend the base for now. So we're going to extend the base of the house. The entrance to the house is actually going to be here on the left hand side. It's going to be these 2 blocks. And there will also be an exit on the opposite side like this. We want to take the top of the house on the front, so these yellow bits, and we want to extend them backwards, and we want to form a box shape, like this. You can fill in the back of the box using yellow concrete, like so. And we want to create a window on the left-hand side of the build. We do this by extending up the space next to the door, we add a row of yellow concrete above the door and above the empty space. This creates a window area which we can fill in using blue stained glass paint. And this bit to the left will be where the doors are. So you could either place some glass above the doors, maybe you could even use a little bit of lime stained glass and place some oak doors underneath. I'll leave the option up to you. The opposite side of the build, however, we are going to fill in just completely with yellow concrete, leaving just enough room for the water slide to the right. But before we move on to the water slide, we want to create the roof shape for the back of the house. To do this, on the back of the house, we want to copy what we have on the front of the house to the back. So that quite simply means doing this. It's the same shape that we made on the front. It looks like a pyramid. We want to place red concrete all the way up these sides of the roof. This is on the left hand side and the right hand side. This will connect the front of the house to the back of the house, creating a nice airtight area. And we're just going to simply start off with this very simple roof where we are just covering the empty space on both on the middle part, on the left and right hand side like this. But we will soon, once you've done that, make it a bit more complicated by extending the roof outwards by 1 block at the front and connecting the roof together underneath. So it basically looks like this. We want the same on the back, so we can have a very simple roof, or we can add a couple of different levels to it like this, and we can just connect it together underneath, like so. The next thing that we're going to do is the stairway leading up to the house. Very simply, we want to take the... So basically, it's this, right? Let me show you. Where we have the entrance to the house, and just to clarify, just to remind you guys, the entrance to the house is going to be here, right there. That's where the entrance to the house is. Well, just left of the entrance, we want to place a row of 4 yellow concrete coming out of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to extend it towards the front of the house by 3. 1, 2, 3. Like this, to create a corner. And then it's really simple what we do next. We take this yellow concrete and we go down from it, in front, down, in front, down, in front, down, in front, down, in front. It sounds like we're at the cinema. Down in front, down in front, down, in front, down, in front, until we connect down to the ground like this. We want a similar pattern just 2 blocks to the right of this, so we want to leave a gap of 2, and we want a similar pattern just to the right of it, and this is going to basically be just the opposite side of the stairs, and it is going to come as high up as where the actual entrance is, so it's going to be parallel like this. We want to create a base to the floor, so we're just going to use our red concrete, and we're just going to place red concrete in such a way that, we're also going to knock into the ground, in such a way that we just place red concrete here, like this. So the red concrete wants to sit 1 row below the actual yellow concrete itself. It wants to come all the way up to the top, and in the fashion that I just described, 1 row below the yellow concrete, we want the same thing when we get up to the top as well. So it creates kind of like a cool depth effect when you get up to the top, like this. And there you go, you have a house on stilts now. But that's not good enough. We want a water slide, of course we do. So the water slide is on the right hand side, and it starts just above where we have this empty space. We want to place 3 rows of green concrete, lime concrete specifically, coming outwards from this empty space. So from the top, 1, 2, 3. We want to place a diagonal row of lime concrete coming out to the right, coming down, down and to the right. We want to extend it out of the right by 1. Then we want to do 2 like diagonal, down diagonals to the right, so like 1 and 2, like this. And we want to take that lime concrete, and we want to take the left-hand block of lime concrete, the one that is closer to the front of the house, and we want to extend it down by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we want to take the right one and extend it down only by 6, like this. We want to take the 7th block, and we want to extend the 7th block in front of the build by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And add a row directly on top of this. Also add a block in the corner here to create a curved shape, like that. What we now want to do is we want to create the bottom of the water slide. So to do that, we're going to now start underneath the slide here, right? So underneath the slide where it's going to begin, we want to place 2 rows of lime concrete coming out. So 1 and 2. So like coming out from like where it starts from the house. We want to do a bottom outward diagonal coming down to the right like this, row of lime concrete. We want to extend it to the right. And then we want to extend it down, and we want to copy the shape that we have just to the right of us. So we now want to copy the shape that we have just to the right of us like this, and that will be perfect. So just copy what you see right there, and that is the best thing that you could absolutely do. So just copy the shape. What do we do next? Well, now we use our lime stained glass to cover up any of the empty space on the sides of the slide. So on the front side of the slide, which is a fun phrase to say, we want to just cover up any empty space that we would have, like this. We don't want to place any unnecessary blocks, but what we want to do is exactly as I described. You just want to cover in the empty space. The same goes for the back, so we just want to cover in any empty space that we have on the back here, and we just want to place this, and we want to extend this down like so, and up here, and then we also want to just cover in the back of the slide a little bit, and also the bottom of the slide, because do remember that this is a functional water slide. It does work, and we don't want to be falling out of the bottom of it until we have to. So like that. So that's the slide done pretty much. If we want to kind of like make it a bit more shapely, just extend the glass outwards a couple of rows, like 1, 2, and the green concrete closest to the glass, like 1, 2, like this. It just makes it look as though that it's a bit more planned out, if that makes sense. We're also going to create a pool around the area. So to make the pool, we're going to do this. So we're going to take the front bottom left leg of the house, and we're going to extend it towards the front of the build by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. We're going to do a bottom right diagonal towards us by 1, 2 bottom right diagonals, and then we're going to extend that to the right hand side of the slide, and we're going to stop until it is in line with the right hand side of the slide. And then we're going to, as if we're looking down, do 2 up right diagonals, 1, 2, up 1, up right diagonal, and then we kind of get to decide how far back we want this circular shape to go. It doesn't matter that much. Like, you can just extend it all the way back like this. You can create a big pool or a small pool, and then we just have to do this. We just have to place like 2 blocks coming back, diagonal, then we just drag it across, and we just have to make sure that it comes across as far as the shape on the front, and then we can place this, this, and this. Like, if does that make sense? We're just creating like an oval shape, like kind of like a circle but stretched out, a big oval shape going around the build, and it can be as big or as small as you want. It doesn't even have to be a regular shape like we have placed like here. And all we have to do beyond this is we just have to dig out this entire area. We just have to dig out the area for the pool, place in a little bit of water, and then that would be your water slide. This isn't particularly my favorite thing to do. I don't really like digging out like foundations and stuff. But you know what? I'm actually not going to for the tutorial. I'll tell you what, I'll speed this up, and I'm just going to dig out the foundation for our water slide, and I'm going to fill it in with water. Now that's not something that really has to be explained, I don't think, for the video. So I'm just going to speed this part up, and I'll be back once I've done it. There we go. So once you've dug out the pool and filled it with water, if you just place some blue concrete underneath the stilts for the house, it will look a little bit better. Some additional details that you might want to add around this place: you might want to add a couple of tiki torches, you might want to add a little bit of a sunbed, maybe even a table or so, and you might even want to make like a parasol. So you might want to like place a quartz stairs with a quartz slab in front of it. That's kind of like a nice little lounger bed. An oak wood table to the right of that will look like a table. An oak wood slab to the right of that looks like a table, I meant to say. A parasol's really easy to make. Just place a couple of end rods or fence on top of each other. Then place like a red concrete on top of that. And extend the red concrete out in every direction. Fill in the center of the corners, fill in the corners with red concrete, and stick an additional red concrete on top, and that looks like a very simple parasol. If you want to light up the area a bit and make it look a little bit nicer, torches on top of oak wood fence looks great, like this. And if you want to make the entire area look a little bit more beachy and a little bit sandy, then I would highly suggest going around the entire area using some actual sand. Like, dig out the area and use some sand, as you would have seen at the start of this video. And, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is just about it. I think I've shown you how to make just about everything except for the interior of the house, which is so personal that I don't really want to tell you guys what to do with it. But that is the Waterslide house. I hope that you guys enjoy this one. It's a bit of a unique idea, I think. I think it looks really cool, and it's just a nice, fun little build, especially for the summer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you did like the video. If you do, please do remember to hit that like, subscribe to the channel for additional content, and also do let me know in the comments what would you like to see next. Always interested in seeing what you guys want to see. And on top of all those things, if you want to check out more of my stuff, check out the card system in the description below. That's where you can see all of this crazy stuff around me. What is that? You might be wondering to yourself. That is a mostly done like phase bank / rice gum house. That's some of the terrain that still has to be filled in. Yeah, we kind of do all sorts of stuff around here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.